very oldest language on the face of this very earth. Chico the Cabia Mapuni, Chineke, son of the Wena Isala, Nina, Cosa, Hansa, Yanina Jama, and Yanage Faros, Okonanagi, all the other then saw no one and he went out of his Kahara to the and you were not young. Because you will make a difference with your source and you were not but you know what? They would like you to believe that someone is the cause of it. No. I am the solution, and the only way they can get to you is by kicking me out, which is not. I have come. Look with you. After I am done with Nigeria, Biafra will be free and enjoy freedom. Biafra will know the importance of freedom and what happens in 5 years to come. Thank you. The very oldest language on the face of this very earth. Chico the Cabia Mapuni, Chineke, son of the Wena Isala, Nina, Cosa, Hansa, Yanina Jama, and Yanage Faros, Okonanagi, all the other then saw no one and you went out of his Kahara to the and you were not young. Because you will make a difference with your source and you were not But you know what? They would like you to believe that is because no, I am the solution, and the only way they can get to you is by kicking me out, which is not. I have come. Look with you. After I am done with Nigeria, Biafra will be free and enjoy freedom. Biafra will know the importance of freedom and what happens in 5 years to come. Thank you.
So you keep on supporting evil in the zoo, the more your land will be taken from you. The more your daughters will be raped and abducted, the more your sons will be slaughtered in cold blood. And under one Nigeria, there is nothing you can do about it. Absolutely nothing. Because one idiot that they groomed will rise up and say to you, oh no, it's one Nigeria, there is crime everywhere. Haven't you heard about Zamfara? Haven't you heard about Katsina? There is crime everywhere. That is not the case. The crimes you have in the north, the insecurity you have in the north is as a direct consequence of their own action. They grouped them. Al-Qaeda in the Nigeria, ISIS in West Africa, Boko Haram, Fulani headsmen, bandits, all of them. Who brought them to Nigeria? It's Fulani. Fulani brought them into Nigeria. Everybody brought them in. All the state government brought them in. Are you people deaf and dumb and stupid? When you come out and you pretend, oh, we are one Nigeria, go and show me. Somebody was asking, where is the boundary, where would the boundary of Biafra begin? And I asked the fool, where did the boundary of Nigeria begin? People from Niger come in and go as they like. Most of these idiots are from Niger. They are building a pipeline to Niger. They are building a rail line to Niger. They are building roads to Niger. Whereas where the money comes from, which is Biafra land, we don't have those infrastructure. No, we don't. But you're taking our money. You come to Ohaji, you come to everybody, you come to Agule, you come to Ebo, you take our resources, sell it, get the money, and now you're building a way to get money, and you want me to be happy with you. Clap for you, one Nigeria. I think you maybe now you are insane. You come to my land, you take our oil, you take our gas, you take our manpower, you get everything, our VAT, our tax, you are now building a road from Katsina to Niger, airport, refinery. You take oil from my land, you take it to Niger, you refine it, you bring it back to me as a refined petroleum. And you're telling me that country is viable. You're telling me that Nigeria should be supported. You are in one Nigeria, you're not going anywhere, and you're dying every day. Because those that they appointed to speak for you, they gave them money so that they will come out, produce of the newspaper, give the world the impression that everything is okay when things are go and see the contradictions in it. Nigeria is not working. We are marginalized, and then you come back to say Nigeria is fine. You must stay in it together. Are you not foolish? These are the useless intellectuals that you have. On one hand, you say Nigeria is not working. You're marginalized. You are being discriminated against. You are suffering. They're killing you everywhere. And you come back to the same place and say Nigeria must be one. Had Nigerians gotten together to say they want to be part of this useless contraption, that's entirely their business. So, I mean, Democrats have subscribed to it. But have you asked yourself this question? Why is it that all those asking you to remain in one Nigeria has something to gain from Nigeria, or they have benefited in the past? Nothing more, nothing less. I saw the letter that Atiku Abubakar wrote to President Biden. In it, Atiku Abubakar said, come and help us fight terrorism, in order to ensure that there will be no regional destabilization. That is their game plan at the U.S. State Department for very many years, until we stepped in. They keep trotting out these lies. Once Nigeria breaks up, there will be destabilization in the entire region. I said that because you don't understand African history. Most of these people are not taking it. When I say it, they say I'm insulting them. No, I'm not insulting them. Most of them are taking it. In Africa, we are tribal creatures in Africa. In Africa, we are tribal creatures in Africa. We always go back to our village where we are born, where our umbilical cord, our long, where it was buried. That's where we come from. That is why every Christmas, Easter, New Year festival, or August meeting, you see us migrating back to where we come from. And I keep saying these things to Africans, they don't understand it. They don't understand it. Everywhere in Africa during Christmas, if you like, be in South Africa, if you like, let it be in Kenya, you let it be in Rwanda, everybody from the capital goes to the village. If you go to Accra, the same thing happens. This past Christmas, if you like, go to Cotonou. That it is in heaven. Let that promise that you made to us come to fulfillment in our time. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our sins as we forgive those who sin against us. Of course, as mortals, we must forgive those who sin against us. But the ultimate forgiveness lies in the hands of God Almighty in heaven, whom we are praying to this very evening. N'ihi na ọ bụ naanị gị bụ mmalite na ọgwụgwụ, naanị gị bụ ọkaka, naanị gị bụ Chineke nna nke pụrụ ihe na anyị ji eme ọnụ onye anyị ji anya isi. Anyị bụ anụkwa ahụ ezi ebede ngọzi, anyị bụ ike ọbụla nna nke ebere. Ọ bụ n'ihi gị ka anyị ji wee je ndị were n'ụbọchị nke taa. Anyị bụ ewere njem nke anyị onwe anyị na-aga wee nyefee gị na ka agbanyeghị ihe ka anyị na-agabiga ụbọchị niile. Agbanyeghị ndị nọ n'ụlọ nga nọ n'ụlọ iko, ndị a na-atụrụ, ndị egburegbu nna nke igwe, ndị a na-akpagbu ụbọchị niile. Anyị wee na-asị gị ezi ebede ngọzi, biko nụ lekwakwa nke anyị na-ebe n'ude nke anyị na-asụkọ wee bịa n'iru gị, ka iwe gbaghara anyị mmehie ezi ebube ngozi, wee mee ka okwu gị n'isi anyị wee bịa na mmezu na ndụ na-abụghị n'ọnwụ. Anyị wee na-arịọ iwe na-agọzi aha nsọ gị, na-asị onye kere ihe niile kere eke mana nwe onye kere, biko bịa ka iwe na ọnọdụ n'ime ndụ anyị n'ụbọchị nke taa. N'ihi na ọ bụ naanị ka anyị na-akpọ isi ala nye, ọ bụ naanị ka anyị na-aja mma wee na-efe aha nsọ ya mgbe niile. Ị gaghị ekwe ka ihere wee mee anyị, n'ihi na onweghị onye ọrụ onye gbapara n'ime gị nna nke ebere dị ngozi nke ihere na-eme. O mekata ka iwe gharịpụ ndị gị nna nke ebere dị ngozi. Ọ bụ ịhụnanya gị na ebere gị, amara gị na ọmịiko ka anyị na-arụ n'isi ezinụlọ gị bụ IPOB na ụgwọ niile eze ebere ngozi, ụmụ Biafra ebe ha nọ n'elu ụwa. Ọlụ aka ha, ọkụ ọbụla nke ha manyere aka nna nke ebere ka ọ bụrụ ngozi n'elu ngozi. Tụmadị ndị na-eweta enyemaka ka e were hiwe otu nche n'ala nsọ bụ Biafra nna nke ebere dị ngozi. Ọ gaghị akọ na akpa ndị dị etu a, ọ bụladị ndị nke nọ na China, ndị gbara onye ego n'ụbọchị nke taa gbasara Eastern Security Network, ọ bụladị ndị nke nọ na Maryland n'oge awa nna nke igwe wee na-atụle ka ha ga-esi weta enyemaka nna nke ebere. Bịa ka iwe gọzie ha niile n'otu n'otu, bịa ka iwe gọzie anyị n'otu n'otu nna nke ebere dị ngozi. N'ihi na ikpete maazị ikwere anyị na nkwa na mmeri ga-abụ nke anyị, aka nsị ndị iro abụọkwana ha ọnụ nna nke igwe kwebere kwezigbo uzu ya ịgasawo ya. Ọ bụghị site n'ike aka nke anyị, ọ bụ site na amara gị onye nwe m. Anyị wee na-arịọ ka ịhụnanya gị na ebere gị, ịma mma gị na ọmịiko gị ma ọ baa n'ebe anyị nọ, na Biafra ga-abịarịrị nna nke ebere dị ngozi na-atụfughị mgbe. Anyị ga-aja aha nsọ gị mma n'ụzọ pụrụ iche. Ụwa niile ga-esi n'ụmụ Biafra nna nke ebere wee maa na ọ bụ nwa bụ Chineke nna nke igwe kere ihe niile ekere eke, onye dị nsọ mgbe niile ebighị ebi. Nara ekele, otuto, nsọpụrụ, ịja mma site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ka a na-arịọ gị. Ise. I am always in the habit of making sure that we log onto my Facebook page, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Official, And the reason why I do it is to try to let our people understand that we are fighting, should I say, a multiplicity of enemies from everywhere, from every angle. Even those who do not have any need nor reason to rise against Biafra, they are doing so because we are the light and the children of darkness are not relenting. Therefore, this evening, if by any means or chance you happen to be kicked off my page or they start to disturb it as usual, as they would normally do, may I recommend that you go to Instagram, please. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu Official on Instagram. They have not gotten there yet. We are also on Twitter. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. I am on Twitter. 279.9 thousand followers on Twitter, please. Go there, you will find us. We are also on YouTube. University of Radio Biafra on YouTube. We are there. We are also, of course, on our app, which is IPOB Community Radio. Radio Biafra is working. Radio Biafra app, that is. We are on Tuning. We are on a whole host of networks and platforms. If you wish to listen to us, you are more than welcome to do so. Those of you who are in climates of unlimited data, you can go to YouTube. We are there streaming very clearly. And of course, a whole host of other people are doing exactly the same and hosting watch parties as we move along this very evening. Do not forget your pen and your paper, because this is the greatest university on the face of this planet Earth, bar none. Here you will learn the truth that will shock you. Sometimes when you hear what we have to say, you may, of course, rightfully so, have need or reason to doubt the veracity of what we are saying. But in the fullness of time, you come to appreciate that everything you hear on this very platform is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. We must preach this very gospel because we have been ordained to do so. Elohim in heaven has ordained that we must preach his gospel before the coming of his kingdom on the face of this very earth. That is why I have said to all of you repeatedly, the reason why Britain doesn't want Biafra to come is because Britain believes rather very laughably that should Biafra come, after that the Messiah will come. That is why there is no way they can allow black people to be free. It's impossible for them. And as we well know, once you have the likes of the Janjaweed with you, once you have people who are willing to do whatever it takes to subjugate their own kind, your work becomes a lot more easier. You see, white people don't have to do very much to hold black people down in bondage and in slavery. Not very. All they need to do, they don't need to come to hassle you. They just go to your fellow black people and get them to do the subjugation and the oppression for them, which the Fulani Janjaweed and to an extent your governors are now doing right across the zoo, not just in the east, but everywhere across the zoo, because they see themselves as being privileged enough to lord it over other people who are less fortunate. This evening I'm going to start by laying, of course, as we always do, a very firm foundation upon which our discourse this evening shall rest, for you to try to understand the effort that people are putting into trying to stop IPOB. I want IPOB family members all over the world to understand the pride of place they occupy in the minds of those that yearn for freedom. I want IPOB family members to understand that you are the nightmare that the zoo is afraid of. And I'll prove it to you now. Only I forget about all these other chaffs and idiots. It's only IPOB that the zoo is afraid of once it comes to Biafra Restoration Project. And I'm going to prove it to you now. I'm going to start by trying to analyze the news that hit the airwaves, or should I say, that was published earlier today by the news agency of Nigeria. Of course, it was syndicated, which means that every news outlet in the zoo is encouraged to carry it. It is from the Minister of Information of the Zoological Republic called Nigeria, that contraption created by a white man, not black people, that racist construct. United Africa Company, from there went to Royal Niger Company. A limited enterprise designed by the British to serve their interests. But unfortunately and very sadly, we black people have refused to learn and to listen. But this evening, I shall remind all of us of our duty and responsibility to one another to try to shed the yoke of neocolonialism wherever we find it. This headline reads, "Don't listen to secessionists, Lai Mohammed tells Nigerians." You must pay particular attention to this. Despite all the raging insecurity in the land, despite the dastardly exploits of ISIS in West Africa, despite the murderous, tendencies of Boko Haram and every other Fulani terrorist group, because some of you should not forget that every terror group in Nigeria is owned and financed by the Fulani. That is something you must understand. Rather unfortunately, and rather very pathetically, some of you are yet to come to terms with this very reality. To top up the misery for the masses, they control the army, they control the police, they control the customs, they control every arms-bearing agency in the land. Every security agency is in their pocket. And on top of that, you also have the presidency of the zoo that they are now, have complete and total control over. In other words, you people are living in the era of the Fulani rule. You are living in the era of the caliphate without knowing it. Because you don't have elections in the zoo, you don't have any democracy in the zoo called Nigeria. What you have is the rule, a very primitive rule of the Janjaweed. And to make things worse, there is nobody who is actually in charge. And also, I'm going to prove that to you later on, that we are the ones, we are their tormentors, we are the ones that they're most afraid of. No other person. Anything we say on this platform, the zoo, they listen very attentively, they pay very close attention to it, and they do the best they can, either to mitigate it or to try to rubbish what we are doing. And each time they fail, each time they try to make us look bad, they end up looking very, very ridiculous. I'm going to prove it to you this evening. This news broke this evening, was carried by many newspapers around the zoo. If you Google it, you'll be able to see it there. Don't listen to secessionists, Lai Mohammed tells Nigerians. He said, do not listen to people who are agitating for freedom. Now, let us proceed. He said this very day, today being Sunday, that the federal government was working hard to improve national security and prevent all secession tendencies, which means what we told you earlier today about the abductions that they're doing, which happened this evening in Uguta, as a matter of fact. The abductions that they're doing, their concern is not the Fulani Janjaweed they imported from the Sahel. No, that is not their concern. Their concern is also not the Fulani bandits who are raping, pillaging, and killing people all over the place. That too is not a concern to them. What concerns them is secession. If you are somebody raised on this warped sense of nationalism, if you're one of these people unfortunate enough not to reason properly or reason anything through before you embark on either critique or embracing of that very subject or discourse, if you're one of those who are not well educated, you will think that fighting for nationalism in Nigeria, or should I say, preserving Nigeria is a very good thing. But actually, it means you are badly educated, you are ill-informed, and you are highly unreasonable. Why am I saying this? Because Lai Mohammed is telling you that their problem are groups that are involved in trying to divide Nigeria. But I want to remind each and every one of you that this same lame, weak argument was espoused by supporters of the British Empire during our colonial days, the time that the zoo was under colonialism. And having said this thing today, as I'm speaking to you right now, there is a man called Bishop Etete. He's been abducted from Akwa Ibom this very day. Chinedu Egwuonu was also abducted in Akwa Ibom as well. That one was abducted on the 6th of April. Insikak Abasi also abducted by the DSS. The reason why I'm making this announcement this evening is that anytime people get upset, these people, they have relatives. Anytime we keep crying and lamenting, and God decides to send his angels, the unknown government, to go and avenge this level of humiliation, Some of you begin to complain and to mutter to yourselves. When Nigerian government themselves are committing high crimes and misdemeanors, all of you keep quiet. How can you go to people's home and abduct them and take them to Iguacha? Their telephone, their mobile phones were tracked. Where we lost contact was on entry into Iguacha. They switched off all their phones. That's what they have done. They are now in Iguacha, maybe in DSS or whatever headquarters that the Fulanis have planned for us. And in all these places, you have the Fulanis who are in power. These people are fighting for freedom. The same way that Nnamdi Azikiwe fought for freedom, should I say, to an extent, independence, for the same people today who are hell-bent on killing everybody, fighting for the same thing that they fought for under British rule. Britain argued, or should I say those that believed in the empire argued that if you allow all these countries, if you allow India to become independent, the jewel and the crown they used to call India, if you allow South Africa to go to the Boers, if you allow all these countries in Africa to become independent, that will weaken the British Empire. We are one. We speak English. English language binds us together. The same stupid, spurious arguments being made up by the likes of Lai Mohammed till this very day. Why did the likes of Azikiwe fight for independence? Why did the likes of Awolowo fight for independence? How come, I'm asking, how come the likes of, to an extent, very limited extent, Enahoro fight for independence? Why? Okotiebo, why did they fight for independence? Why didn't they all argue that we should remain in one big British empire, one big family being ruled by the Queen? Even when they got independence in 1960, how come in 1963 they argued that the zoo should become a republic? That the Queen should no longer be the head of government of Nigeria? Why did you do that? Why is it that now that people are agitating for exactly the same things that you fought for and agitated for under colonialism, you have issues with it? Let us look at what Lai Mohammed has to say. They are working very hard to improve national security by abducting people today in Uguta. They abducted some people today in Uguta as well, not just in Akwa Ibom. In Uguta today, they went and they abducted some people there. The man ran away, they took the wife. A woman. This is what Fulani people are doing. Any day now, people become angry and enraged and they react. All of you will come on social media and on the useless Zoo newspapers and be yapping rubbish. Today that the DSS are busy abducting people, you will not say anything. And I want to ask you this question. How many Fulani bandits has the DSS abducted before in the past? Sheikh Gumi knows where they are. How many of them have been abducted? The answer is zero. Absolute zilch. Nothing. He gave this, he was speaking on a radio program, I think it was in Lagos, it's called EB, Ambassador. He urged Nigerians not to listen to IPOB, not to listen to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. That's what he's doing. He said, speaking specifically on the issues around security, Mohammed said that federal government efforts in that respect necessitated the town hall meeting on security held on April 8 in Kaduna. The people causing the problem are the same people that they went to have a town hall meeting. In the same state, being governed or being ruled by a man, that midget El Rufai, that openly told all of you that he was traveling to Chad, to Niger, to Mali to go and pay Fulani terrorists and bandits to stop killing all of you. He was the man, when asked what was happening in southern Kaduna, he said that the Fulanis were exacting revenge. A governor, that was where they held this town hall meeting. I want to let the whole world understand that Nigeria itself is steeped in hypocrisy. That is something, every time I come on air, I keep lamenting about the state or the mental well-being of black people, how we absorb information and how we analyze it. I keep saying this all the time. I don't know if some of you actually sit down to give a deeper reflection on this very issue I harp on about all the time. They held a town hall meeting, not in the south that hasn't been ravaged that much by terrorism, but in Kaduna, the same Kaduna that was the epicenter, the beginning of present-day Fulani banditry started in Kaduna, in southern Kaduna. That's why they held this very meeting. That is to tell you that they have taken over your lives. You people are worthless. And I'm saying this with every sense of clarity and sincerity, that people in the southern part of Nigeria, you people are slaves. But the funniest thing is that you don't know that you are slaves. You see, in order to occupy you, in order to make you feel relevant, they keep saying, oh, the presidency will go to the south in 2023, which means forget about every other thing that is happening to you right now. Focus. It's just like promising somebody you're going to heaven. If you go to church and pay tithe, you go to heaven. As if they've had anybody from heaven come back to tell them that, hey, I went to heaven. This is what it looks like. They keep promising you 2023. As you're looking at 2023, your land, your forests, your farmlands are being taken over. They are concentrating power, despite the fact that the Fulanis are in control of every facet of life in the zoo. They're even piling on more power upon the one that they have already. And all you can do is to talk about one Nigeria. The meeting brought stakeholders together to chart a way forward. Let me ask you, did any of you, were you aware of any meeting being held in Kaduna that was held in Kaduna on the 8th of April? Stakeholders basically are Fulani people, maybe from Chad, from Niger, from Timbuktu, with the Sultan in charge. They said that they setting benchmarks for enhanced security and national unity in Nigeria. Unity by force. Unity, the same way that Britain tried to hold their empire by force, crush, imprison, kill, jail. It didn't work. It has never worked anywhere in history. And Nigeria is not going to be an exception. It will never, ever work. They said that their deliberations, or should I say, their conclusions, were presented to the Federal Executive Council and state governors on Wednesday and Thursday of this week gone, respectively. Lai Mohammed pointed out that what united Nigeria was more important than those issues threatening its continuity. And I want to ask anybody with any sense of, I don't know how to put this so that people can actually understand me. I want people to ask themselves this question. What are those things that unites Nigeria? I know some idiot will tell me that an Igbo man trading in Sokoto, in Uguzo, in Kotangora is what unites you. The same way you have Igbo people running successful businesses right across the whole of Europe and in the Americas. The most successful immigrant race into the United States of America are Biafran people. I think it's an official document, isn't it? The most successful immigrant race into the USA are essentially Biafran people. Are they not doing very well in the USA? They are excelling in the USA. Is anybody in their right senses ever suggesting that we should be one country with the USA because our people are doing very well? I want to be very generous to the likes of Lai Mohammed and all those misguided nationalists that you have in the zoo called Nigeria. It's a very simple question. If you claim that somebody doing business successfully in Maiduguri or in Bauchi is a panacea, is the reason why we should be together as one country. There are people who are doing very well in the UK as we speak, running successful businesses. It doesn't matter if they are Biafrans, there are Yoruba people doing exceptionally well. These are multimillionaires in pound sterling. Are you now implying that Britain should come back to recolonize us because there are people who are doing very well in Britain? Simple common sense. I'm sure that you know that the answer is no. So I want Lai Mohammed and all those peddling this fictitious line that what holds us together is more than what divides us. What is holding us together now is Fulani laziness and Fulani greed. Their lecherous behavior, blood-sucking demonic behavior. They contribute nothing to the national coffers. I keep asking myself all the time, if you sit down and you ask yourself, what is it that the Fulani Janjaweed, especially their so-called elite, are contributing towards the national development of the place called Zoological Republic of Nigeria? The answer is absolutely nothing. All they do is that they steal. The ordinary Alamajiri Janjaweed may move cattle from place to place. At least they provide meat to an extent to those that want to eat their useless poisoned meat. What does a ordinary Fulani Janjaweed so-called elite, all of them that are stealing money and sharing it in Abuja, in Kaduna, in Sokoto and all that, just tell me what they have contributed? I keep asking this question, nobody can answer it. Absolutely nothing. But Lai Mohammed is saying that what binds us together is more than what divides us. And he went on to say, listen, we are moved by security issues around the country and called for a meeting of all relevant stakeholders on April the 8th in Kaduna. That we have ethnicity issues is not new. I'm quoting verbatim what Lai Mohammed said. That we have ethnicity issues is not new. They started to mention the problems of Nigeria. Number one is the beloved IPOB. Second, Boko Haram, and thirdly, farmer-header clashes, not Fulani bandits. The reason why this animal called Lai Mohammed mentioned Boko Haram is because over the years they tried to coerce Boko Haram to deliver their own agenda, their own jihadist, Wahhabi, Janjaweed agenda, and Shekau said no. That's why they're including them here. And the last but not the least is farmer-header clashes. You know that it is the Fulanis, they claim, the same people that told us that those in our forest killing us in Benue, in Agatu, those in southern Kaduna slaughtering us in Zango Kadaf, they said, they opened their mouth, go and Google it, they said, these are foreigners, foreign headsmen. That was what they said. But today, the Fulani rampaging, kidnapping, killing, raping, murdering people, known as Fulani bandits, they are not included in the list of Lai Mohammed. The number one people to appear there is your beloved IPOB, followed by Boko Haram. No other people. No, that is why I said to our people, anybody against ESN, you must be sick in the brain. If those people who are clamoring that they want to also provide 5,000 men, if they are serious, if they are a thorn on the flesh of the zoo, they would have been mentioned. Only IPOB. They talk about secession. They talk about IPOB. Is here. These are the words of Lai Mohammed. That we have ethnicity issues is not new. IPOB, Boko Haram, and farmer-header clashes are not new. All we must do is to look for a way forward. What is that way forward? By Fulanizing everybody. By Fulanizing everybody. These are the things that some of you must understand. And what they intend to do, as they have done in the past few hours, is to unleash their so-called DSS that can never catch Boko Haram. DSS can never catch ISIS in West African province, which is ISWAP. But DSS can never ever catch Fulani bandits. The only people they catch, you'll be in your house sleeping at night. They will storm your place with their darkened hillocks and they're doing cowboy, abducting innocent people who are not armed. You must understand this very carefully, what they are doing. That is Nigeria for you. And they claim that they're doing their job. Because we are the people threatening the complete Fulani takeover of the whole of Nigeria. Only IPOB. I'm sorry to say. That is why we are being mentioned. You know what Lai Mohammed said? He said, we are aware of them, which means the word of IPOB. The government is working. Secession is not the way out of our challenges. You don't cure a headache by beheading the patient. The things that unite us in Nigeria are more than what separates us, he said. The minister said that the stakeholders at the town hall meeting in Kaduna came up with some recommendations to further secure and unite the country towards progress. Always unite, unity. Nobody talks about your well-being. Nobody is concerned that Yoruba people are refugees in Benin Republic. Nobody is concerned about what DSS is doing. Nobody is concerned about what goes on at army checkpoints now in Biafra land where people are being slaughtered. Nobody is concerned that the whole of Bende, right now as I speak, is full of Fulani jihadists with their cattle. Your well-being. Let us not even talk about employment or good roads or good schools or hospitals. That one can never come. We are talking about your own survival as a human being. And do you know why Lai Mohammed was chosen to say all of these things? Now listen to why he's doing it. Lai Mohammed is a Yoruba man, apparently, from Kwara State. But he is a Fulanized Yoruba man. He's a Muslim. The same as Tinubu. Because when they pray, those of them who are learned, they pray in Arabic. When they read their Quran is written in Arabic. You cannot read the Quran in English. It has to be in Arabic. Pay very close attention to what I have to say. In other words, the Fulanization agenda of the Caliphate is nothing new to him. Because that Fulanization agenda means the recitation of Quran in Arabic for everybody. It means looking towards Saudi Arabia for all that you are as a human being. These are the things you must bear in mind. So to Lai Mohammed and other Kwara Yoruba, should I call them Muslims, is nothing new. For all they care, the supreme leader of all Muslims in Nigeria is the Sultan of Sokoto. It can never be a Yoruba man. Understand this very carefully. The Sultan of Sokoto, the leader of Muslims in Nigeria forever and ever, as long as the zoo stays together as one entity, which it cannot stay, of course. We'll make sure of that. It's going to always be the Sultan of Sokoto. There is no way in this life that the Sultan of Sokoto can ever be a Yoruba man. In other words, every Yoruba person, including Lai Mohammed, including Tinubu, every Yoruba person, especially a Muslim that subscribes to one Nigeria, they are saying that in perpetuity, the Fulani will lord it over us. Some people may try to draw the analogy with Christianity and say, how about the Pope? There's never been an African Pope, but of course, at least it is subject to a vote. One day, who knows, a black Pope may emerge. It has nothing to do with us. The same thing that I have against some of them of the English persuasion when it comes to Christian worship, Anglican Church. There is no way in this life the Archbishop of Canterbury, appointed by the Queen of England, can ever be a black person. It's not possible. It's not possible. It can never be done. The same way there is no way in this world that the Sultan of Sokoto, the supreme leader of Muslims in Nigeria, will ever be a Yoruba man. So every Yoruba person canvassing or campaigning for one Nigeria, you are saying that you have double yoke. Obasanjo emerged, the Yoruba man, as the head of state of Nigeria because the Fulani said so. He came back again and became civilian head of state because the Fulani said so. Shonekon emerged because the Fulani said so. When Yorubas wanted their own person to be the president, Fulani said no. Abiola, and he was not the president. What people are doing inadvertently, what people are doing with them is that they bring this burden upon themselves without understanding the idiocy of supporting one Nigeria. The reason why I touched upon this is because the only thing, Nigeria is a totalitarian state. They give you the misleading and erroneous impression that somehow we are all together in a democracy. Nigeria is a totalitarian state. It's not a democracy. Why am I saying this? Now, there is insurgency all across the north. Restiveness in the south, so to speak. People agitating for their freedom. Let me tell you the recommendation that they come up with in Kaduna. The stakeholders recommended that security operatives be equipped with modern equipment to boost efficiency necessary to win the trust and confidence of the people. Who are the people running your security agencies? Fulani. Who are the people causing the problem of insecurity in Nigeria? Fulani. And I stand this night And I ask everybody who is in that zoo, every animal in the zoo called a Nigerian, I want to ask a simple question. Just name somebody, one person that reported the activities of Fulani killers and headsmen to any police or divisional police of headquarters manned by a Fulani person, and something was done about it. 4 times now, the Fulani headsmen have attacked Enugu. 9 times they've attacked Ebonyi. At no point during these attacks did the commissioner for police in any of these states, never ever during these attacks did the commandant or the head of army at 82 Division ever send soldiers to go and stop the slaughter of the innocent in the villages. Never. But they are there. Their job is to keep Nigeria united, not to secure Nigeria. That is why this evening, as we are live on air, I'm announcing that people should stop traveling in and out of Enugu at night. Now, the Janjaweed are operating from Loba, given to them by Odus Okalu. Loba is a terrorist base of the Fulani in our land. But you have governors all over the place. You have people living in Abuja and in Lagos, pontificating and talking rubbish every place there about their beloved one zoo, one Nigeria. This is what is happening in our land. This was exactly what gave birth to Eastern Security Network. They have met in their Kaduna. They have held a meeting. Nobody said we should recall all headers and ban open grazing. Sorry, not to ban, to enforce the ban on open grazing of 1969. Nobody is saying anything about it. No, 1968. And I must correct myself. 1968. They're not saying it. Nobody is saying that the bandits they claim that came from Mali, from Chad, from Niger should go back to their land. No. All that concerns them is security, because they need to hold all of you down. As they are pinning you down, the Fulanis are coming in and settling in your farmlands and in your forests without you knowing about it. Or you may know, but you cannot speak. Those you are relying upon to speak have been selected by the Fulani themselves to serve their interest. And you call them governors, you call them Igwe, you call them Eze, you call them traditional, you call them local government chairman. These are people. It's a long-running project of the Fulani to select your leaders for you. And they have succeeded. And that is why, in our time, in this age that we are in, Fulani killers can go into Ebonyi State and kill people. Even the governor will not acknowledge it. The army will come and take away the dead bodies of those killed, so that the world will not know about it. Because if you go to bring me evidence. How am I sure that they killed people in Ebonyi? How am I sure? Meanwhile, the army took away the bodies. But when the Fulanis were doing the killing, they were nowhere to be found. After the killing, they communicated, say, oh, we are done now. Come and take the bodies. The army will come and take away all the bodies. This is happening in Biafra, and this is happening in Igbo land. But you have governors. You have people that claim they're governors. And they said they launched Ebube the other day to protect our land. Within 3 days of their launch of their so-called Ebubago, Ebonyi was under attack. They never responded. It fell upon IPOB to command the Eastern Security Network to go and do the needful to secure our land. And people don't understand what we are facing every blessed day. Every blessed day. You don't understand, because they have limitless number. They have armies coming from. These are Fulani. Nigeria has been promised to the Fulani. Britain has given Nigeria to Fulani people. For some of you who do not know, for some of you who are too stupid to understand, Fulani own Nigeria right now. In the north, there is no border. They built railway to Niger Republic. There is no scrutiny, no accountability, nothing. Niger people can come into the zoo and register to vote. They can do whatever they like. And all of you from the south, you're just there looking, saying one Nigeria. Sometimes, sometimes I get very, very upset. And I said to myself, why don't we allow these people to take over the whole of the south, so that your eyes can now open? Because some of you are still blind. You're so foolish. You don't understand what is happening. I'll give you a very simple example. I despise Dangote. He is not the richest man in Africa. And I will tell you why. Because he's in a monopoly. In America, he will be in jail. I keep saying this. Every broadcaster come and I tell you. All of you were there. Let me tell you what the Fulanis have in store for you. Go into ordinary business. In every sphere of the economy, the Fulani dominate. Their stranglehold is total. They own over 90% of the oil wells. The reason why they own these oil wells is because people from the coastal region of Biafra land forgot who they are to allow the enemy to come in. That is why Ogoni land is polluted and can never be cleaned. That is why every year resource control with nothing happening. Because of the efficiency of divide and rule that they applied, of course the British applied. Let me tell you what they have done. Cement. Everybody must buy cement to build a house. Because of the way the white man taught us to build houses. Whereas before we used to use clay to build our houses to maintain the temperature inside at 26 or 27 degrees centigrade. And all of a sudden it's all breeze block. That is a conductor of heat. Let's put that to one side. For you to build a house. Let me tell you how clever the Fulanis are with their British advisors. Everybody needs shelter at some point. If you're successful in life, you're bound to build a house. Even if you don't build, you're bound to rent a house. You're not going to sleep outside. The landlord that built the house or the owner of the house must have built it with a cement. You see how clever they are. The Fulanis thought to themselves, let us control the cement industry. How are they going to control it? By killing off and closing every other cement producer in the country. So that only one man, he's not going to produce the cement, he's going to import the powder and bag it somewhere in Lagos. That's how you have Dangote cement. Over the years. Some of you may have forgotten, but my uncles used to work at Niger Cement Factory in Kalagu, built by Dr. Michael Lopa. Niger is called, and Kalagu Cement. Some of you have forgotten, but I'm sure if you're as old as I am, you remember BCC Lions of Boko. Have you forgotten Lion Cement? From Benue. BCC means Benue Cement Company. They used to have cement in Benue State. There was Elephant Cement, Ego Cement, Ashaka Cement, Boham Cement. Even Ibeto had his own cement. Now, people complain, they don't have any jobs, they are miscreants, they have no jobs. But you people, the same Fulani that you people idiotically voted for, or claim you voted for, are the people that shut down all these factories. They want Fulani to control you. They gave the monopoly, the license to import cement to one single Fulani man. Dangote. That was why they put Ibeto in prison. EFCC called him and imprisoned him to stop him from selling cement. Only one Fulani, only one, mind you, they're in control of the oil. Only one Fulani man. Some of you are so stupid in Nigeria. I don't know the type of God that made some of you, but I will educate and I will enlighten you. If you listen to us without bias, believe you me, your life can never be the same again. Your brain will open. Let me give you an example of what is happening in Zoo. Before now, there was nothing, and Obasanjo is very stupid, I'm telling you. Obasanjo is an idiot. Obasanjo was the man that rubber stamped some of these things I'm telling you right now this evening. Not only do Fulanis control the oil well, there were a lot of people, thousands of people working in the refineries. Let me tell you what they did next. They went into the refineries and they shut every refinery down. They went and built a refinery under Abacha in Equatorial Guinea. They went into a consortium with the British and built a refinery in Exeter, in England. Now, this crude oil that previously would have been refined in One, in Iguacha, Port Harcourt refinery, in Warri, or to an extent Kaduna, now we ship them abroad and made every worker in that place useless, rendered them unemployed. Money wasn't coming in. I want people to understand when Lai Mohammed was saying, what holds us together is more than what, all that rubbish, nonsense. I want to tell you how Fulani took over your lives before your eyes, Korokoro, as you're watching Talking One Nigeria, our flag, our team, Super Eagles, Green Eagles, Siglet, talking about the Fulani, we are stealing your lives away from you before your own eyes. Fulani was not content in owning the oil wells. They shut down the refineries where our parents were working, where you could study petroleum engineering, graduate, and find a job to feed your family. That sector was shut down. Remember, they shut down the cement sector. Very critical. Every day there's construction going on, isn't it? It's a very critical sector of the economy. Building raw materials, of course. Fulani, Dangote one man. Now let me tell you what they did very cleverly. They came to the petrol. Not only the oil well is not enough, to tell you how much they hate you. They call you a Nigerian. Let's unite, but they despise you. They hate you. If not, why would they shut down all these cement factories and allow one man to import? I didn't say produce, import. You will have limestone in Kalahad right now in Ebonyi State rotting away. Shut down. BCC in Nuboko, shut down. Maybe you don't go them have taken it to rebag, not to produce, not to manufacture cement, but to import cement powder and rebag it. That's all that they do. And they claim they love you. They claim they want to see Nigeria progress. I am doing this program this evening to let the whole world understand that there is no basis for unity in Nigeria, because the whole thing is based on evil and wickedness. Why? Because Fulani people are not hardworking people. They can't wake up by 5 or 4 in the morning to go to work. I challenge anybody. All those factories that you see in Lagos, in all those industrial belts, I challenge anybody anywhere in the world to tell me if a Janjaweed can wake up by 4 in the morning to go to work in a factory. It's a challenge to everybody. Show me one. Now listen. They took over cement, which is very critical. They took over oil itself. The only country that private individuals share oil wells amongst themselves. That is not enough. Instead of moving that oil to the refinery to be refined, where we can find jobs to make kerosene available easily, to make fuel available to run our car. No, not at all. To tell you how evil they are. Those claiming and shouting one Nigeria, to tell you how satanic they are. They moved all those jobs abroad by shutting down all the refineries that you have in your zoo country. And who is in charge of NNPC? Fulani and the Kiari family. Understand? Now, you see what they did? They now moved crude oil abroad to the refineries that they built with stolen money from the public coffers. It doesn't end there. Denying you jobs is not the end. It's not even their problem. Now, to bring that refined petrol back into Nigeria, you will not pay subsidy again to bring back into the country what left the country for free. Hey, zoo. Only if black people can reason. They took away cement sector, very critical in the building of any economy in the world. They took away oil, which is the only thing that you have, so to speak. They export it, they export it and they make money. They bring it back and you pay tax for it. Yet no refineries are working. That is how you have fuel subsidy. The meaning of fuel subsidy is that your refineries are not working. Not that they will not work if you turn them on, but because Fulani shut it down, that they may control your lives. 2 sectors. We must all eat, isn't it? Everyone must feed every day. You have to eat something. There is no food you cook in our land without salt in it. No. You must add salt now. It's normal. You cannot have tea in the morning without sugar. Dangote. Ordinary Indomie. Dangote. There was a Biafran I met in Netherlands. He wanted to bring Indomie into the zoo. I think he brought sample. They arrested him at the airport and put him in jail for trying to disrupt Dangote's stranglehold on the, should I say, the ready meal industry, pasta and all this other rubbish that people eat. Only them. Only them. You cannot feed without contributing to Fulani domination of your life. In religion, those of you who are Muslims, Fulani is number one. Politics, they are number one. Army, they are number one. The police, they are number one. Everywhere, they are number one. Anytime you talk, unity, unity, unity. They hit you, they kill you, they arrest you, they shoot you, anything, unity. Because they know what they're benefiting. The final game is to hand over our land and our forests to their brothers and sisters from the Sahel. And it's happening before our eyes. One shut down refinery that could have employed millions of people. Iguacha down, Warre down, even Kaduna. Who built Kaduna refinery? It's not Obasanjo. They asked me, said he's diversifying the location of major industries. He wanted to please the Fulani masters that put him in power. They built Kaduna refinery. You have to move oil all the way from the south to the north. They can pipe oil to the north and everywhere else, but they cannot pipe clean water to your homes. They cannot pipe gas to your homes. And they claim, they tell you, we protect one Nigeria. We are all Nigerians. We are going to make progress. Progress how? For how many years? How can you make progress by shutting down industries that employ people, rendering them unemployed, and importing into the country finished items and products that you could have produced in your country? Are you listening to me? So what Lai Mohammed is saying is rubbish. He was born in Ilorin, I'm sure. He's a Muslim. So to him, Islamic rule is nothing. In fact, he'll welcome it. He's a Muslim. That is why he is pushing for the caliphate agenda, that they may dominate our lives. And as I said before, and as one man also said, you cannot in this life control a people unless you have somebody on the inside doing it for the oppressor. I want you to listen to this very clip tonight. Listen very, very attentively. Listen.
Did you say Biafra will come in 2023? Biafra has been restored already. What is remaining is a complete declaration that will be defended. And before that happens, there are many things that we need to put in place. I want you to recount the achievement of the Biafra Republic government in exile under the leadership of Simon Ekpa, what we have achieved in 2023, and ask yourself that question again, and you will look very stupid. We have been able to form government in exile in 2023. In 2023, we have formed the de facto government. In 2023, we have launched Biafra Liberation Army. In 2023, we launched Biafra Navy, we launched Biafra Air Force, we launched the forces of Biafra. In 2023, we adopted Helsinki Declaration, which is the constitution of Biafra. In 2023, we had a convention in Finland where Biafra people gathered from all over the world as delegates to vote on the Biafra Charter, which is a living document subjected to amendment. In 2023, we have created 40 states of Biafra, and believe me, many more states will come because we are not done yet. In 2023, not only that we created state, we also brought a redesigned and a redrawn Biafra map to reflect the current situation and the current demography of Biafra. In 2023, we started engaging officially Nigeria state in a guerrilla warfare on self-defense. In 2023, we officially and publicly engaged Nigeria terrorist army, and we are neutralizing them on daily basis. It has never happened before in the history of Biafra after the war. In 2023, we publicly and openly made sure that Nigeria doesn't kill again in Biafra land and go free. So, if you look at those things I've mentioned, and those ones I have not even mentioned, are you still going to challenge Simon Ekpa that Biafra has not been restored in 2023? Biafra declaration is not about mouth pronouncement. It's about putting every structure in place. It's about putting every mechanism and measures in place to shaping the map and the structure of Biafra. In 2023, we have designed the economic viability of Biafra. In 2023, we have kicked off the Biafra Urban Development Project. In 2023, we've made a lot of impact globally. In 2023, the Biafra awareness gained the highest momentum in the history of Biafra since after the war. In 2023, we made the Nigeria terrorist army to cry on the floor of National Assembly. It has never happened in the history of Nigeria. In 2023, those who are serving as the agent of Nigeria, benefiting from the corrupt entity called Nigeria, openly called for persecution, execution, and the kidnapping and arresting of Simon Ekpa, because they know that this is a different thing from what they have seen in their entire lives. In 2023, they call for the arrest of Simon Ekpa and call for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Confusion. In 2023, after they have used many years to plan the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they have come to say Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a saint. He's a very gentle man. He's a nice person. But just 2 years ago, they kidnapped this nice person from Kenya. 2 years ago, they tortured him for 8 days. 2 years ago, he was an evil man. 2 years ago, they called him terrorist. 2 years ago, he was everything evil to them. 2 years ago, they spent hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. They kidnapped him and put him into a private jet from Kenya to Nigeria. 2 years ago, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was everything evil to Nigeria, including to Ohaneze Ndigbo and all of them. 2 years ago, he was the only problem of Nigeria. 2 years ago, he was the only person that constituted all manner of insecurity in Nigeria. He was the one who is more deadlier than Boko Haram. He was everything that Nigeria don't want to see. Today, as Simon Ekpa take the Biafra liberation to the next level, the same people are now calling Mazi Nnamdi Kanu the most sensible person. These are hypocrites. These are devilish people. These are criminals. That only thing they want to do is to give dog a bad name in order to kill it. They have given that name to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They themselves were the one who condemned Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The same people today, they have seen that, yes, indeed, someone actually followed this footstep of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and ready to drag all of them to Biafra land. So that when we get to Biafra land, we will treat their fuck up very well. Today, the same people who gave the bad name to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in order to be kidnapped, they slandered his name, blackmailed him to other ethnic nationalities in Nigeria. All of them today has come to say that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is very sensible. Now it is Simon Ekpa is the problem. These people who are just evil from birth refuse to understand why Simon Ekpa have decided to take this thing upon himself to liberate the people of Biafra who has been subjugated and chained with Islamic State agenda. They found themselves in a hole. They tagged us, dots, in a circle, because they thought that they have actually systematically conquered everybody by dividing, creating states, dividing us, changing the demography and map of Biafra people. And at the end of the day, they structured out 5 tiny states, called it 5 Eastern states. And they say, let us continue to divide them. And now they tell you, oh, you are talking about Biafra. You are just 5 states in the circle. We have come to destroy their evil agenda. Today, you will understand that the plan of the Islamic State has failed. Today, the Biafra people are proudly announcing the 40th state, which is called the United States of Biafra. 40 complete states, cut across board, including in the area where they claim they were never Biafra. I have come to learn from what Biafra did wrong in 1967 to 1970. I have come to learn what Wazirike did wrong from the time he started the Biafra movement, and I have come to learn what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did right and was in the process of doing before they planned and kidnapped him. I continue from there, and today we are where we are. They are not resting. Those IPOB Nigeria are not resting as well. Every given opportunity, they think that there is infight in the Biafra government. They will say, oh, their hope now is that they are fighting. And they are hoping that there is infight in the Biafra government. That is to tell you that, like we said, they are cursed. They are cursed. And they can never rise again. Biafra government in exile is a government that nobody born of a woman marching on this planet, using your foot to walk on the ground, will ever destroyed. Biafra has been restored in 2023. We have a government, we have a structure of the government of Biafra, we have every department that made Biafra government a legitimate government. The people of Biafra are loyal to the government, both in the exile and in the homeland. We have governors, state administrators in all the 40 states of Biafra. We have the deputy governors, which is called administrators. We have the Secretary of State of each state in Biafra land. We have the chairmen and managers of county and district. If you do not understand that with this structure we have now, one day you will sleep in Nigeria and wake up in Biafra, it means that you are an idiot. I told you that by the time I finish with Nigeria, you will sleep in Nigeria one day and wake up in Biafra. The next phase is to set up the police of Biafra. The reason why we have not set up the police is because it is going to be state police. Every state will have their police. Every state will be independent. It is going to be local police, and there is no interference from the central government of Biafra. The military is a joint military. It's one military that will protect the territorial integrity of Biafra. When one state is attacked, it means that you have attacked all of us. So my people, for those who are asking when are you going to declare Biafra, we have already declared Biafra. We are only waiting for us to conclude the last phase of the Biafra government, and one day you will sleep and wake up in Biafra. Like I said, then we must capture every cranny of the Biafra territory.
Of heaven, the very oldest language on the face of this very earth.
Because I can say that from what I have just listened from you, it is just not ordinary.
Very wonderful. When my lawyers came to see me, I had a discussion with them about how I'm going to defend myself. I told them that
Welcome. Thank you for joining me on this very day program. I appreciate everyone that have been patient to listen to the message of our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and the message of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoku. You know that two of them are one of the main reasons I am here every day, to give them a voice, to make sure they are not forgotten. Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoku and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu are one of the major reasons why I broadcast every single day, to make sure that they are not forgotten. We know that the Nigerian government and their agents are doing everything humanly possible to see that they are being caged, that their voice is not heard. They have done everything. They went ahead to recruit people to be fighting against them. But we have taken it upon ourselves. Personally, I have taken upon myself that I will continue to give them a voice. Even if it is one or two people that are going to listen to them, at least that will keep their memory alive. And that is what I have decided to be doing, and I will continue to do. In this, our platform, remember, I don't come here to instigate violence. I don't come here to preach hate. Neither do I come here to attack anybody. I don't come here to attack any man or woman. All we do here is to speak the truth and nothing but the truth, to awaken your consciousness and also make sure you are aware of what the situation is. That is what we are doing here. And I appreciate every one of you that have been patient this morning to join us on this very quick broadcast. I say, may Chukwu Okike continue to guide and protect all of you. As we can see and as we know, a lot is going on. A whole lot is going on in the Zoological Republic and in that contraption called Nigeria. A lot is also going on in Biafra land. And we will not keep quiet, we will not keep silent, we won't pretend that we don't see what is happening. That is why we have to always speak about these issues, talk about them, bring them to the front line, and make sure that the Biafrans are aware. We also call the attention of the world to know what is happening in Nigeria. The plan of the terrorists to take over Nigeria completely is still ongoing. The Afghanistan template have not yet been cancelled. It is still ongoing. The atrocities against the indigenous people in Nigeria, and more especially against the Biafran people, cannot be underestimated. It is getting higher, worse and worse and worse every day. So that is why I will continue to give a voice, give my little voice to what is going on. Wherever you are, whoever you are, I urge you to join and add your own voice to speak so that humanity will be redeemed in that contraption called Nigeria. Nigeria, as you all know, was not created to save the indigenous people. It was not created for the benefit of the indigenous people, no. It was created for control and for economic exploitation. And it has been working for them the way they want it from independent up to today. They are fake independent up to today. From their creation to today, Nigeria is working according to how they want it. The only people that keep crying and complaining are the ordinary people, the innocent indigenous people who their land have been exploited and taken over. And today, it is not only that they take the resources, they are taking innocent lives. They are destroying innocent lives. That is why it is so disturbing. That is why it calls for concern. Anyone that cares about humanity on the planet Earth should add his or her voice to demand the end for that contraption called Nigeria. The end. That is the only thing that can bring a lasting peace. The only thing that can bring a lasting peace in Nigeria is to end that contraption, conduct a referendum that everybody will participate in and decide their fate. I urge everyone to continue to do whatever they know they can be able to do. continue to add their own voice, continue to make their contributions the best way they can. We will continue and we will never give up. If you care about humanity, you care about mankind, your voice is also needed. Join your own voice and speak about the people who are being decimated today, humiliated, abused, whose rights have been taken over. Speak about them. The genocide against the Christians in Nigeria that is ongoing and continue to go on must not be overlooked. We must continue to call the attention of the international community to save innocent lives in Nigeria. That is our mission here, and we will continue to do that for as much as we can. So today we are discussing on a topic that says insecurity, government accountability, and the debate on Nigeria's future. Why referendum is now. We are going to try as much as possible to discuss on this topic, but I'm not going to take much of your time. We are going to do it as fast as we can, and then we will go out and come back in the evening for another section of the program. And as you join us, like the program and share to other platforms. Invite someone to also listen and join. So my fellow Biafrans, wherever you are watching from, our topic says insecurity, government accountability, and the debate on Nigerian future. Why referendum is now. So we are going to do justice to this topic as much as we can. We will try as much as possible to do justice to this very topic. So I urge you to hang on with me, listen carefully and prepare your questions if you have any, or you have your contribution. Remember, the platform is for interaction. It's a place we share our views, regardless of our different opinion, our orientation or religion. You are free to join here and air your opinion. So this morning on this topic we are discussing, I welcome every one of you, wherever you are watching from around the world. We are here to discuss once again in another discussion. It is a serious conversation about security, leadership, and the future of the contraption called Nigeria. Because right now, many people are asking difficult questions. Why does insecurity persist? Why do communities continue to feel unsafe? And why does it often seem like solutions are slow, inconsistent, or ineffective? These are the questions that people are asking every and again. So this live stream is about asking those questions openly, honestly, and responsibly. We will not keep silent until solution is found. That is our duty. The reality people are experiencing in Nigeria today cannot be hidden. The reality of the situation in the contraption called Nigeria cannot be hidden. We will continue to expose it. Across different parts of Nigeria, communities have faced serious security challenges, including banditry, kidnapping, and violent attacks every single day. Even as we speak, there is still ongoing. Families have been displaced, livelihood disrupted, and trust in the institution has been tested. That is the worst of it. In all these trials, the institution in Nigeria, none of them is capable of handling the situation. Instead, they make it worse. Instead, they help to create more doubt in the heart of the people. That is why we take it upon ourselves to encourage people to hang on and also look forward towards the solution to the problem. Security is one of the most basic responsibilities of any government. When people feel unsafe, everything else, education, business, daily life is affected. So when insecurity continues, people naturally begin to ask questions. And the question that people are asking on a daily basis are, is enough being done to secure the life and property of the people? Is the government of Nigeria even doing anything to protect the life of the people and their properties? Are responses from the contraption effective? Are there responses when you hear the kidnapping, the degrading, the assault on citizens? Are their responses effective? Where are the gaps? We have seen the people that were kidnapped from Kwara, more than 100 people. Today they are still in the kidnapping den. Some of them are Christians, and today they have converted them by force to Muslims. In the video they released recently, you see a forceful conversion of the people into a religion they know nothing about. And this is supposedly a country. Your citizens are kidnapped in numbers. Videos are made about it. Claims are made about it. Ransoms are demanded for months, and yet you couldn't do anything. Every one of you remember that when United States of America citizen, one citizen was taken out. United States of America came all the way from the US to rescue him. But in Nigeria, it's a different ballgame. Completely different ballgame. These are legitimate concerns, and they deserve serious attention, not silence. Government responses and public perception that we see today. Government often highlight effort being made, even when we know they are doing nothing. They come and highlight the effort. Most of the time, they will tell you, oh, you shouldn't worry, you should accept them, accommodate them. Accommodate debt, accommodate insecurity, accommodate failure. That is what the government preaches. Government often highlight effort being made. Military operations, policy changes, security funding, but the situation remains the same. Public perception is shaped by result and promises. Yes. It is the result that shapes the public perception. It's not by you claiming and making some promises that doesn't hold water. If communities feel free, if communities still feel very vulnerable, then clearly something is not working as it should. And that is the situation in Nigeria today. And this is where frustration grows. Not necessarily because people expect perfection, but because they expect consistency, transparency, and urgency. And this is one thing that you can never find in the contraption called Nigeria. In any country where there is a gap between government messaging and people lived reality, trust begins to break down. And once trust is weakened, unity becomes harder to maintain. All it takes is your attention for you to understand why we often say that Nigeria is irredeemable. That the situation will get worse. There is no accountability. There is no responsibility anywhere. Accountability is not an attack. It is not, it is a requirement of leadership. Accountability is a requirement of leadership. But today, when you talk about accountability, people feel that they're being attacked. They push propaganda and they say you are attacking them. Citizens have the right to ask what strategy are working, what is failing, what changes are being made. These are critical questions that everyone should be asking. Everyone should be asking. Both Biafrans and non-Biafrans. Ask to your group, ask to your government, ask to whoever you think has something to do. What strategy are working? What is failing? What changes are being made? Because without accountability, problem can persist longer than they should. At the same time, it is important to avoid misinformation or assumptions that cannot be verified. Strong nations are built not just on criticism, but on informed, responsible engagement. Do you have informed and responsible engagement at this point in time? Do you have? You can't find that anywhere. Nigeria is one of the most diverse countries in the world. Nigeria is one of the most diverse countries on the planet Earth, with many attributes, culture, and history. Diversity can be a strength, but it can also become a challenge, especially when people feel unheard, unrepresented, or unfairly treated, like you have in Nigeria. The diversity in Nigeria is nothing but a danger, a threat to humanity. That is what it is. When the people are unheard, unrepresented, are unfairly treated, you can't be preaching diversity as strength. When these feelings grow over time, tension increases, and some begin to question whether the current structure is working for everyone. You don't even need to question, because we all know that the current structure is not working for anyone. The current structure of the Zoological Republic is not working for anyone, not working for the Biafrans, not working for the Yorubas, and certainly not working for the Hausas. And we can't pretend about it. That is why we are calling for referendum. Even though we have conducted our own self-referendum, if you don't want to adopt it, conduct yours. That's what we'll be saying. If you don't want to adopt our referendum, if you don't want to acknowledge our referendum, conduct yours. Let's see. This is a very sensitive but important topic. The idea of a referendum. A very sensitive but most important topic. The idea of referendum. In different parts of the world, referendums have been used as a peaceful, democratic way for people to express their will. Why is it not happening in Nigeria? Why is the case of Nigeria different? Why? This is not about chaos. It's not about violence. It is about dialogue and legal processes. However, it is also complex. There are legal, political, and economic factors that must be carefully considered. The key question is not just yes or no, but how much, how such a process will be conducted responsibly and peacefully. Conducting a self-referendum is okay. It's either you accept it or you conduct yours respectfully. In time of tension, extreme narrative can spread quickly. Some may oversimplify the situation. Others may assign blame without evidence. But real solution requires calm thinking, verified information, and constructive dialogue. This is where we stand, and this is our banner. This is where we stand. This is our motto. Calm thinking, verified information, and constructive dialogue. This is our motto, and this is what we've been crying for. Because if emotion alone drives decision, outcomes can become unpredictable and even harmful. The people have a role to play. You have a role to play. I equally have a role to play. And we must make sure we do what we have to do when we have to do them. Change does not happen through silence. Change will not come through keeping silence, running away from your responsibility. But it also should not happen through violence. The most powerful tools citizens have are awareness, participation, dialogue, and lawful civic engagement. All these are found in Biafra, and we must hold them tight. We must hold them tight. The creation of awareness, we have created awareness so much, and we are still creating awareness. We must participate in anything that has to do with Biafra, mainly the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Survivor. Make sure you participate in it. We must continue to dialogue with one another. We must continue to conduct civic engagement, lawful civil engagement. Speaking up matters. Don't be silent. Speaking up matters. But how we speak and what we promote matters just as much. Speaking up in your platform every day you come out, you shout it out, it matters. It is good. Making all the noise is good. But how we speak and what we promote matter just as much. Then ask yourself, what are you preaching? What are you promoting? Ask yourself. If you can be sincere to yourself, ask yourself, what are you preaching? What are you promoting? When you get the answer, you can come back. Nigeria is at a critical moment. The challenges are real. The frustration are real. The questions are real. Only if you can tell yourself the truth. But the path forward must be guided by truth, responsibility, and a commitment to peace. Because in the end, the goal is not division for its own sake, but a future where people can live safely, freely, and with dignity. That is what we are asking for. That is not too much to ask. It is not too much to ask. And I hope that you understand that. If you've watched this far, your voice matters also. Share this very video to other platforms, share to family and friends, and also share your thoughts respectively in the comment section. Put your thoughts, what you think. Do you believe reform can address the issue of the contraption called Nigeria? Or do you think structural change are necessary? Let's have a conversation. Not driven by anger, but guided by understanding and purpose. Wherever you are today, and you are here, you're not here by mistake. I appreciate you for coming, and we must continue to speak the truth, no matter what the enemies are doing.
Them say Tinubu don't follow for God now. Tinubu don't follow for God now. They want to take it tax to chop off our head. Senate house fall and the criminals, country military fall and the terrorists. Injustice, Omotosha forget law for inside court. Changaro Republic at the government. Abubakar Malami don't fall for God now. Him and EFCC put leg for shit. Them say Sheikh Kukumi don't fall for God now. Because Donald Trump don't come to Machamo. He go matching Boko boys, matching terrorists. As the government knows a big way for kidnapping to stop. I make it don't fall for God now. Them making Nigerians see one die for suffer.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. We are going to go to the media to get some information on the media and see what it looks like. Let us go to the media and bring out the updates that they have in the media. As you know, we always do that in order to create awareness and also not to lose focus on what is happening on the conventional media. It is important because it concerns us. It's about our life together. This one says, U.S. closes embassy in Abuja. U.S. closes embassy in Abuja to visa appointment after asking personnel to leave Nigeria. U.S. closes embassy in Abuja to visa appointment after asking personnel to leave Nigeria. Something is coming. U.S. is leaving. The personnel are asked to leave Nigeria. So just watch out. Tinubu government insists Nigerians safe for economic activities despite U.S. security advisory. What would they say? Criminal and lying country that will never tell you the truth. I have intervened for very dark man twice. I don't care if he insults me, Showore said. Yeah, for every education, Showore is one of those people who is still fighting hard at the front line and knows what he wants. In as much as we have differences, he believes that revolution can solve this one Nigeria, but we know that it's not going to work, and we are asking for a separate state. Even as at that, we don't have anything against him. We still appreciate the work he's doing and how he's pursuing his own cause, committed to it, regardless of the attack. EFCC petition to arrest Blessing CEO over alleged 300 million fake cancer fundraising scam. That's what you see in Nigeria. Hunger, nothing hunger, no cause. And a lawlessness in a country where there is no law guiding people. So people wake up and do anything they feel they can. Fear of forceful conscription grows as U.S. plan to automatically register young men in military. Fear of forceful conscription grows as U.S. plan to automatically register young men in military. Of course, at least they are paying well in their military. Many people will be willing to join. They see their service, they see the service they are rendering to their nation. Many people are going to join just to secure their land. They will. U.S. First Lady Melania Trump denies link to Epstein, call for congressional hearing. As they always try to disrupt Trump as much as they can. I just pray that Trump will not forget our issue in a hurry. EFCC busts Yahoo Academy in Abuja, rescue trafficked victims, arrest 31 suspects. Yahoo Academy. Nonsense. Or the what of the Yahoo Academy established by the government? All the Yahoo Academy established by Nigerian government, have you been able to close them down or arrest them? You will not. Your focus is on individuals who are trying to survive by all means necessary. Individuals that you have made fraudsters by yourself. Tinubu extend condolence to Nigerian armed forces over Boko Haram killing as insecurity worsening. That's what you always do now. The insecurity is worsening every day. You're sending condolence visits to your army. Your own is that you can't even visit. What a shame. Transcorp Hotel denies cancelling ADC booking for political rally. Claims no reservation was made. Interpol denies forced repatriation of Anambra police whistleblower Nnamdi Eme. Disown purported red notice. That is it. They will always lie. Nigerian government can lie. They lie, they push it to their media, and their media will put to propaganda. This is not the first time they are lying against Interpol. They have been lying against Interpol. They lied against Interpol in the case of Mazen Nandekan. And Interpol came out and said they are not involved. So it's not new. Just for you to know what Nigeria is. Unregulated billboards turning Delta states to death trap. Professional bodies warn. Billboard everywhere. Unregulated. That is it. That's what you see in Nigeria. Trump accuses Iran of dishonorable conduct in Strait of Hormuz. Warns against charging tankers. Tinubu confirmed killing of Brigadier General Brahmo. Others in Borno says deadly insurgent attack was desperate. Another attack. This is the Boko Haram that is killing them. But the funniest thing is that as Boko Haram is killing them, they are busy recruiting them, claiming to radicalize them, re-radicalize them, or de-radicalize them and put them into their forces. Continue to praise them and pay them compensation. What a shame. What a big shame. Very big shame. Very big shame. Bauchi closes 24 cattle market across 4 LGAs to cut off bandit financial network. So now no say now this one now cow, they create the problem. You will stop through. Time shall come when you can no longer hide again under your madness. Boko Haram releases video of 416 abducted women, children in Borno as victims. Beg Tinubu for help. You can imagine. You see the number. And the funniest thing, with all this number they are calling, you will never hear an outrage. You will never hear an outrage. You never see a protest. Their focus is Biafra land, where people are asking for legitimate rights. In Biafra land, there is no kidnapping. No mass kidnapping in Biafra land. No mass abduction in schools, homes, mosques, or churches. You can't find that in Biafra land. But yet, they want to conduct operation. They want to conduct operation in Biafra land to take innocent lives. Meanwhile, in the northern part of Nigeria, just a few days ago, 416 abducted women, children. Women and children were abducted. 416 by Boko Haram in a country. Do you know what 416 human being means? 416 human being. Do you know what that means? But of course, to Nigeria, it is nothing. It's a normal thing. Terrorists invade Kwara community, kill first forest guard, including commander, bomb security vehicle. They have been emboldened every day. Kwara is gone. And the Kwara is the place that liar Mohammed, the greatest liar, that is his state, former Tinubu spokesperson, liar Mohammed, Minister of Information in Tinubu. His own town is taken over completely. They are the people who were preaching to us to give them land now. If you don't give them land, is the land the more important than your life? Is God not wonderful? Every one of them will pay for all the things they did against the Biafran people during the Civil War. Everyone that was involved, you will pay. There's no place to hide. It would have been better if you acknowledge the genocide, apologize, and Biafrans forgive you. And for the fact that you continue to deny the genocide, even as that the confession has come, every one of you will pay dearly. You will pay. Go and market, you will pay. Bandits storm Ondo poultry farm, kill owner and daughter during kidnap attempt. You can imagine. You can imagine. In Ondo State, they went to a farm. They took the life of the owner of the farm, took the life of the daughter during attempt to kidnap them. This is Yoruba land for you today. Now them get president too, and some of you are there wishing for your Igbo president, so that the terrorists will now have the opportunity to enter your land. Some of you don't know that once you enter into that presidency, you have given them the license. You have just given them the license to destroy lives. Once you are the one in charge as the president, you can't do nothing again. Every president in Nigeria is a member of Boko Haram. They will always sign on for member of Boko Haram because they are all part of Mieti Allah. That is why you can never resolve insecurity in Nigeria. Nigeria's debts, burden, sewers under Tinubu, World Bank says. Now, you never see anything. No. They don't borrow finish. Never borrow finish now. 110 of every 1,000 Nigerian children die before age of 5. You can imagine. You can imagine. 110 of every 1,000 Nigerian children die before age of 5 as stunting malnutrition worsen. World Bank. The problem is that these people are a bunch of idiots that only generate pictures, walls, even from the Biafran starvation, and they use it to raise money. But when it comes to solving the problem, they will never do anything about it. They will not. They are not ready to solve the problem. They are not ready to focus on solving the problem. Where they are focused is on making sure that you are being enslaved and exploited. Mad people. Showoro says, confession by blogger Ijele speaks, confirm multiple assassination plots against him. Of course. And so many other people that he has been assassinated. Most importantly, his sponsor. It is the federal government of Nigeria that is sponsoring that guy. Let nobody forget about that. That is a very important one. And I pray that Chukwu Okukabiam will give us the wisdom to know what is right, follow it, pursue it, and never allow the propaganda of the enemies to distract us from what is right. Wherever you are watching, and those who are going to watch later, like and share, invite others as we continue to speak, and also give our Supreme Amazon Nandikan opportunity to preach and speak to Biafrans, as we always do in this platform. We must continue.
Of course, they can attack my Facebook page or the like. They're wasting their time. After this program, I'll quietly put the SoundCloud there. You can go down and listen to it. If you want to listen to us, I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. We are on our app, which is IPOB Community Radio app. We're on everywhere. We're on YouTube, of course. If you want to listen, you can listen. I want to play something for all of you. Listen. Listen to this very, very carefully, please. I want you to listen to what I have to play now. I started playing it prematurely. And I've not forgotten those who are doing their fundraising in Maryland, in the United States of America, of course. I do commend each and every one of you who are participating this very afternoon. I think it's afternoon in Maryland. It is afternoon in Maryland. It's about 3 p.m. in Maryland, if I'm not mistaken. All of you who are participating, I say well done to all of you. Well done to all of you who are participating at the fundraiser event in Maryland. We need it. And not once, it has to be continuous, please. When you pay tax, you don't pay tax once, it's continuous. We need to defend our land. It has fallen to us to defend it. And we are doing it very, very gallantly, I assure you. We are fighting a whole host of enemies, your stupid governors, some foolish Igwes. We are fighting Efulefus, we are fighting informants, we are fighting Nderi, we are also fighting the Zoo army, the Zoo, everybody. Only this noble family. And if Elohim is not with us, how can we make the progress that we have made so far? I want you to listen to what this man has to say. He's a preacher, I'm telling you. A preacher of the truth. The conquest of a black man, the enslavement of a black man couldn't have been possible without another black man. After listening to this, you tell me the difference between those that sold us as slaves in the past and the governors and the so-called leaders we have now. No difference. It's only that we have come to say that enough is enough. We can no longer tolerate this rubbish. That's all. I want people to pay close attention to this program this evening. Pay very close attention. In fact, listen to it 10 times over to understand the hopelessness and the idiocy of the brain of a black man. Anybody who believes in Nigeria, believe you me, that person is not worthy to live as a human being. Listen to this. Very, very carefully, please. Listen.
Traditional leaders and the slave trade.
Slave
we
trade.
blame the whites for the slave trade we went through. We blame the whites that they offended us. They took us as slaves. But let's wait for a minute. Who sold the black man to the whites? Who sold the black man to the whites? Our own traditional leaders. The enemy is not outside. The enemy is within.
Always inside.
We are asking the Europeans to pacify us and also to apologize to us. Our traditional leaders must be the first to apologize on behalf of their ancestors for the evil they have done against their fellow blacks. Look at our attitude towards the environment and the destruction of our water bodies. All our river bodies have turned into dark brown. And you know what they said? In the next 20 years, if we don't stop this illegal mining, Ghana, we will import water to drink. Yet we don't care. And Chinese, they will come from their country into our forest, destroy our forest, destroy our land, and illegally mine and damage our waters. How can they come if the traditional leaders didn't give them permission to do that? And in one instance, while they were dead, our military went there to protect them. Our own military
Africa.
is supposed to protect
This
us.
is your black. Oh,
The
Lord have
foreigners
mercy.
to destroy our water and destroy our forest. The enemy is not outside, the enemy is within. If you look at our own systems and structures in our country, we don't have a better system to improve the lives of people. Pastor, I was surprised when I read in China, they had a 10-year vision, and they said from 2011, their vision was that in 10 years from 2011, and 10 years from 2011 will be what year? This year, 2021, that they will raise over 20% of the people to become multi-millionaires. Now in 2021, they have 1.8 million Chinese who are multi-millionaires in China, and they are between the age of 40 to 50 years. Multi-millionaires. The government intentionally decided that they will make sure they will have 20% of the population multi-millionaires. They also agreed that they will make sure that they will lift up the poorest of the poor, and they lifted 100 million people from begging to live a better life. But in this country, in our country, we fight our own businessmen. Our government will fight our business people. When they know that your business is thriving, and they know that perhaps you are not sympathetic towards the running party or the ruling party, they will fight you, collapse your company, and make you poor. When in China, they want to make the people rich. In Africa, we want to make our own people poor. The enemy is not outside. The enemy is within. Look at our African...
Do you now understand it? Very clear. A preacher from Ghana preaching the word of God. This is what I call preaching. Not all that nonsense they talk about. The 40 million auditorium rubbish. They can never speak the truth. Imagine if every Sunday in the churches that you have in the South, even in the Middle Belt, the priests were to climb the pulpit and repeat exactly what this man is saying. There will be a revolution overnight. What the preacher did not say is that in China, before China became what they are today, there was a revolution by the people. Do you understand? This video is very clear. The enemy with black people, the enemy is always within. It's a good thing he's preaching from Ghana. The people that conquered Nigeria for the white man are Ghanaians. The West Africa Frontier Force is from Ghana, recruited from Ghana to come and fight. Fought us at Benin, fought us all the way at Harochukwu. Ghanaians recruited by white people. The same way we have today, those fighting a better tomorrow for our children are the so-called governors, so-called Igwe, so-called idiot, a beggar who lives in Lagos, writing rubbish, claiming he's an intellectual. Compare the future they're offering you to the future that we are offering you. We are offering you a future of employment, a future where the vision of the government will be to produce, let's say, 2,000 millionaires every blessed year. The leaders of China are not making these millionaires for themselves, not the politicians, no, ordinary people, because they love their people. Look at what is happening where we come from. They impoverish their own people. Chinese, how can you build billionaires without industries and factories? But in the zoo called Nigeria, the lives of Ibeto are being impoverished. People who could have been millionaires are being impoverished, so that the Fulani that is so work shy and lazy can ascend the throne of power, riding on our collective ignorance. That is why I hate Nigeria. Not that I hate the people in it or anything of that sort. It is the pervading ignorance that I find almost debilitating, I'm telling you. It is shocking. How long are we going to continue this way? They held their meeting in Kaduna. Nobody talked about youth unemployment. Nobody said, how are we going to get our children meaningfully employed? You claim you love your children. There are no jobs for them when they leave university. You have not sat down to strategize, to say, how do we provide? It is your job as a politician to provide jobs, or at least to create the enabling environment, to allow industries to thrive. But it is not happening because you don't love the people. That is why your first recourse is DSS arrest and shoot. Because you are a tyranny. You people don't deserve to live. And until we rise above all this nonsense, the country or the homes where we come from, that we are likely to bequeath to our children will be far more worse than that we have encountered. In a country where hard work should be encouraged, where millionaires should be encouraged to emerge, because every millionaire has to employ somebody, even a house girl, or a houseboy, or a gardener, or a cleaner. Somebody is earning money and paying tax. So it is in your interest that you have that everybody is well off. But in Africa, we think that it has to be only us, only me and my family, me and my people, only us, only me will have the only upstairs in the village. It's not very good. The way we reason is very bad. Before our eyes, Ibeto was persecuted to extinction. He did nothing wrong. He's a businessman. He did nothing wrong. They squad Newman. N-U-M-A-N, Newman. In Gongola State, in those, I don't know what they call it. What is Gongola State now? I don't know what they call it now. Is this Yobe? There was a place called Savannah Sugar Company. My uncle, the Mahamefule, used to work there. I was to go there on holidays and a company in Newman. Do you know they used to produce sugar? In Yobe State, Yobe, they used to produce sugar there. Nobody is coming up and saying, let us revive this Yobe. It will give our people jobs. You know, with sugar, you do a lot of things with sugar anyway. Some of you don't know that the rum you drink, you don't know that sugar is alcohol. You don't know that? Hey, sorry, it's Adamawa. They say it's Adamawa. I do apologize. I don't know which is which. I don't know which is Taraba, Adamawa, all this rubbish, all these stupid, idiotic names they come up with. I used to know Gongola State. In Gongola in those days, there is a place called Newman. If Fulani Janjaweed were Ahmed and his so-called intelligent stakeholder group will not discuss this. You have stakeholders who are themselves bandits, economic bandits and criminals, holding down your fortune and your future on the ground. Without any of you knowing about it. That was in Kaduna, built by Ahmadu Bello. It shut down. Today import textiles from abroad. All London farm settlement from where the Malaysians came and run down. Some of you, I said this thing many years ago, some were in a shock for days. Let me repeat. Do you know that Nigeria imports palm oil? We import palm oil from the same Malaysia that we taught how to how to process oil, palm oil. And the people responsible for this destruction of our future will stand up and say, we love you, we love Nigeria. I mean, come on, for goodness sake. Are we that foolish? Are we that stupid? I'm asking all of you. That is why they don't want us to preach. That is why Facebook will suppress, remove people, make things as horrible as it is. But had Mark Zuckerberg been a zoo product, his invention or his creation will not see the light of day today. So that we can be free. We are fighting to set other people free, to create a future that our children can remember and say, our fathers did this in our time. The same way that the Chinese are doing for their people. Every blessed day. It doesn't matter. I don't criticize them anymore because they are doing the best they can for their own people. Are you blaming them? Including eating our penises. If that is what makes them fine, so be it. Somebody will come to Africa, kill his own flesh and blood, a fellow African, cut off his penis and sell to the Chinese. And you're telling me that we are normal. Somebody is somehow telling me that such satanic creation like Nigeria should stand. I asked Lai Mohammed, they have never, since they came into power, I have never heard them one day, this useless, idiotic APC, say to themselves, how do we generate employment? I criticize Babangida all I like. But I recall very, very well. In fact, I believe that Babangida's economic blueprint was the best that the zoo had ever seen as a centrally run political entity. Not when they had the regions. And you know the funniest thing? Those who are against secession, so to speak, in their language, those who are against autonomy or freedom for the regions. The only time that Nigeria came close to attaining its potential was when everybody, Dr. was 40% every year, the fastest growing in the world. Awolowo performed a miracle in the West. When I mean miracle that you cannot even believe what the man was able to do with ordinary cocoa. Transformed the entire West was transformed. Built the first stadium. Even the Janjaweed, Ahmadu Bello, and Tafawa Balewa, do you know what they did in the North? Go and look at the factories that they built in the North. When people look back with nostalgia at what Nigeria could have been, they were looking at Nigeria when the regions had their own government. When the regions had their own embassies abroad. These are the things they don't teach you in schools. But if you're fortunate to be listening to us, then you're highly blessed. And all these people who have a hand in sabotaging their own people. And as I said sometimes, that I don't think there is anybody anywhere on this earth that has come close to matching the accuracy of everything that we pronounce. You know, when I say it, you don't believe me. Some of you may remember when I used to say to Rocha Sokorocha, you come back in shame. You see this planning you're serving, they will disgrace you. The same thing I said to Lai Mohammed. All of you fools that think that by serving the Fulani somehow one Nigeria, your life will be better. I want to read out a story concerning Rochas Krocha that you may understand. This is the idiot that locked up our mothers in order to please his Fulani masters. Now let us read and understand what is happening to him today. EFCC releases Okorocha after 2-day detention grilling. The same man that rigged the election in Imo State for his master, his Janjaweed master. This is the same man, the same human being that locked up our mothers in Owerri because they were protesting that I should be released from detention. This same idiot He was preaching Nigeria to us. One Nigeria, how we need to be together. Nigeria has to go as we talking rubbish. And of course, with his bra, he wears a bra. Idiot. This fool. I told him, he didn't listen. Now, let us hear what his Fulani masters did to him. As I said to you, how many years ago did I say that? You will serve, all of you. Our job is very simple, to restore the kingdom of heaven upon the face of this very earth, that the scriptures may come to fulfillment. As I keep reminding everyone, anytime rise above all this nonsense, the country or the home come from that we are likely to bequeath to our children will be far more worse than that we have encountered. In a country where hard work should be encouraged, where millionaires should be encouraged, because every millionaire has to employ somebody, even a house girl, or a houseboy, or a gardener, or a cleaner. Somebody is earning money and paying off. But in Africa, we think that it has to be only us, only me and my family, me and my people, only us, only me will have the only upstairs in the village. It's not very good. The way we reason is very bad. Before our eyes, Beto was persecuted to extinction. He did nothing wrong. He's a businessman. He did nothing wrong. They squashed him. Some of you don't know, in a place called Numan, N-U-M-A-N, Numan, in Gongola State, in those, I don't know what they call it. What's Gongola State now? I don't know what they call it now. Is it Yobe? There was a place called Savannah Sugar Company. My uncle, the Mahamefle, used to work there. I was to go there on holidays and I was told that the company has been shut down. Savannah Sugar Company in Numan. Do you know they used to produce sugar? In Yobe State, Yobe. Nobody is coming up and saying, let us revive this Yobe. It will give our people jobs. With sugar, you do a lot of things with sugar anyway. Some of you don't rum you drink. The Southern Comfort you take. Rum, Southern Comfort. It's sugar from sugar cane. You don't know that sugar is alcohol. You don't know that? Hey. Sorry, it's Adamawa. They say it's Adamawa. I do apologize. I don't know which is which. I don't know which is Taraba, Adamawa, all this rubbish, all these stupid, idiotic names they come up with. I used to know Gongola State. In Gongola in those days, there is a place called Numan. If Fulani Janjaweed were working in the sugar factory, what time would they have to go and do banditry? Lai Mohammed and his so-called intelligent stakeholder group will not discuss this. You have stakeholders who are themselves bandits, economic bandits and criminals, holding down your fortune and your future on the ground without any of you knowing about it. There is a place, the largest textile mill in West Africa was in Kaduna, built by Ahmadu Bello.
The ordinate ambition of enforcement.
I want every one of you to remember these three words. Nigerians, we are no more. Southeasterners and Southerners, we cannot become. And Biafrans, we must be.
very oldest language on the face of this very earth. Chiko kikabi amapuni ngeni chineke ngende sona efewe na kusiala nyina ina koza hanso ya mbuni onanye na jama we anyana ge farusi obonane ge dole kali ngeni ngekele kama ngekele obia mlendi nden so na kriya na kusiala ni obadi ndina to kole no totwa eyi aba no wanene bebu mo yoba and when I raise it because it's not balance in the Kahara to the Kahara and the only one that you can understand. Kakas in the day so we see where lion and you were not young. Because you will make a difference with your source and we're not
but you know what? I would like you to believe that someone is the cause. No, I am the solution, and the only way they can get to you is by kicking me out, which is not possible. I have come. Look with you. After I am done with Nigeria, Biafra will be free and enjoy freedom. Biafra will know the importance of freedom and what I'm going to do in 5 years to come. Thank you.
No. Show me where he says